is my one of the panoramic radiograph. So what you can observe in relation to the lateral incisor? First, the question asked was in relation to the lateral incisor, left upper. So this is the tooth, right? You can see this is the tooth. Okay, clear? So this lateral incisor, what is the speciality about this lateral incisor? Both this lateral and central 2-1 and 2-2 are tooth cannot reach it. Very good. Okay. So what happens when you magnify your eyes and observe closely? You can see a well-defined, remember, well-defined radiolucent lesion with the epicenter of the radiolucency contacting the tooth root apex. Clear? And it is of size 4 cross, at least 4 cross 1.5 centimeter in size. Okay, clear? Right? It's a little bit bigger in size. It is involving even the adjacent tooth 1-1. Okay, it is so big, it goes into, and it is surrounded by a sclerotic border. Okay, clear? So considering these facts, what will be a radiographic diagnosis? Yes, students? What is the radiographic diagnosis? I need you all to, don't chat, okay? I need you all to speak.
Periapical sclerosing osteitis.
Okay, Noor Harris, very good. He has done. He said periapical sclerosing osteitis. Good. Any other responses?
Radiculosis.
Okay, Latifa said radicular cyst. Any other responses? Yeah, I need some more responses. Speak, students. Yes.
Periapical abscess.
Periapical abscess. Very good. It could be a chronic periapical abscess. Then, now your friends have said some of the answers. So you relate your mind. The answer is one among the three. What it could be?
Cyst.
Cyst. It is a radicular cyst. Okay. Why it is a radicular cyst?
It has well demarcated border.
It has?
Well demarcated border.
Very good. It has a well demarcated border. Then?
Associate with non-vital tooth.
Okay. So you, even the radiograph, you have said it's a you have found it's a non-vital tooth. Because of the radiolucency, it is a non-vital tooth. You have inferred, okay, because of the periapical radiolucency, you thought you are making it as a finding that it is a non-vital tooth. It is not because it is a non-vital tooth, you diagnose it as a radiographic diagnosis as a cystic lesion. But students, can you appreciate the difference in the statement?
No.
See, come on, you are seeing a radiographic finding. You are not seeing anything else, right? Point number one. In your radiographic diagnosis, you don't relate to the clinical findings. What you're going to relate is to only what is seen on the radiograph. And you can relate what is there in the radiograph to the clinical findings later on. Okay. If there is a periapical radiolucency associated with the root canal treated tooth or a grossly decayed tooth, obviously the tooth is a non-vital tooth. Okay, it doesn't mean that since it is non-vital clinically and it shows a radiolucency, you coin it as periapical radiograph. Understood, students?
Yes.
Okay, clear? Okay. So then why can't it be periapical sclerosing osteitis? Noor Harris? Explain. Explain why can't it be?
I don't know.
Don't know.
Is it because there's a white patch? We can see slightly radio opacity.
No. Okay, there is no radio opacity at all. Okay, so this is not a periapical sclerosing osteitis case. This is an entirely, without any iota of doubt, this case is a radicular cyst. Okay, yes, right, okay, clear. Now, for added information, I want you all to know for certain other details. Okay, these are the other findings. Okay, clear. Number 1. Where is it? I have added some more pictures for your case. Right. What is this line? Can you see this line? Can you see my pointer? Yes or no, students?
Yes, doctor.
Okay, right. So what is this? Interact. I'm writing down what all you know, what all you don't know, so that I can stress more. What line is it? See, it's over like this.
Lip.
No, not lip. It is the? No, not tongue.
Is it the device?
No, it is the airway shadow. Okay, clear? Airway shadow caused because of failure of keeping the tongue on the palate while taking a radiograph. Number 1. Okay, clear? Next, what is this, students? Radiolucency in the premolar, molar, both bilaterally. Can you see here also? What is it?
Submandibular fossa.
Very good. Super. Okay, so this is submandibular fossa. Right, any doubts you have in this panoramic radiograph? Okay, if not, we'll move to the next question. So in this question, what was asked was to do a complete radiographic interpretation. Am I right? Or was it in this picture?
The first one.
Previous.
Okay,
Previous one.
so yeah, this complete radiographic interpretation. When you're going to interpret your radiograph completely, you start with first is radiographic identification. So this is a panoramic radiograph of mandibular posteriors. In case if somewhere right or left is mentioned, okay, in somewhere over here if they had mentioned that this is right, then you can write it as 4, 6, 4, 7 and 4, 8. Okay, clear? If not, you just mention mandibular posteriors showing the first, second and third molars. Simple. Okay. Now coming to the normal radiographic landmarks. What are the normal radiographic landmarks you can see?
Doctor,
Yeah,
just now you said, is it panoramic or IOPA?
this is IUPA.
Oh, okay.
Hey, this is IUPA, man. Okay,
You
clear?
mentioned panoramic just now.
A slip of the tongue, and then how can I say this is panoramic? Is it Ghazlan? Okay, if I said panoramic, it is slip of the tongue. This is an IUPA. Okay, clear? Right?
I
Right.
just want to confirm, doctor.
Okay, fine. Then coming to the normal anatomic landmarks. So what are the normal anatomic landmarks? What you can see here? Yes, one of you first, quick.
Alveolar void.
No, other than enamel dentine pulp, bone.
Mandibular canal.
Okay, very good. Mandibular canal. Then I need you all to speak. Don't type in chat boxes. Okay? Yes, fast, quick. Quick, students. We have miles to go. What is this? Can you see? Very good. External oblique ridge. Can you find out that this ridge is
Malohaya Ridge.
mylohyoid ridge or internal oblique ridge. Done. Enough. Nothing more. Okay, clear? Next, coming to your pathological interpretation. Okay, clear? So there are, in all the three teeth, there are pathologies. Okay, so you can either go from 876 or 678. So let's go from 6. Here in the crown, you see an occlusal amalgam restoration. Okay, remember occlusal amalgam restoration. Simple.
Doctor, can we say like there's a radio opacity shows restoration?
Yes, okay. Radio opacity showing, depicting restoration. Okay, in the diagnosis, you can say occlusal amalgam restoration in the first molar. Okay, very good. So this is with regards to first molar. Coming to the second molar. Second molar, you're saying about a ill-defined radiolucency or a near complete loss of coronal tooth structure with radiolucency involving enamel, dentine and pulp. Okay, in the crown of this teeth. Then coming to the loss of lamina dura, loss of pedial space. Okay, clear? There is an ill-defined mixed periapical radiolucency of size. You have to mention the size. Right? So you all know that the approximate mesiodistal width of a molar is nearly about 5 to 6 millimeters. So you can write this as 7 millimeters cross 4 millimeters approximately in size. Okay, with the epicenter of the radiolucency contacting the tooth root apex, the radiolucency it's not surrounded by a sclerotic border. It does not resorb the root structure. There is no effect on the adjacent structures. Okay, so this is what I want. All these points has to be mentioned in your interpretation. Clear? Next, coming to 8. What can you say about 8?
The laceration.
Okay, very good. You can say dilaceration. First, in the crown, the long axis of the tooth is not parallel to the long axis of the 7. So this is tilted distally. Okay, so this is disto-angularly placed, right? The roots, obviously the roots are little bit abrupt deviation or curvature of the root signifying dilaceration. Okay, clear? So these are the 3 pathologies. Very good. Okay, which I want you all to write. Then coming to your radiographic diagnosis. Radiographic diagnosis, occlusal amalgam restoration relation to 6. Dental caries with periapical. What could be a radiographic diagnosis for 7?
Purifying osteitis.
No.
Apical abscess.
Very good. You can write periapical abscess. Okay, I will say why it is not ratifying osteitis. Number 1, your first radiographic diagnosis, the most in relation is periapical, chronic periapical abscess. Okay, chronic. I need you all to use the word chronic because acute periapical abscess without past history of abscess, okay, or acute exacerbation will not manifest as this kind of radiolucency. Okay, so ensure that if there is a periapical lesion, use the word chronic periapical abscess. Right, this is your first. You can write differential diagnosis. Okay, why periapical rarefying osteitis doesn't come in your first diagnosis is because of the size of the lesion. Right, when you say periapical rarefying or sclerosing osteitis, by that terminology, there is some host response. Okay, though there is some mixed appearances here and there, the host response is taking place. But entity, the lesion is so big to say it is a periapical rarefying osteitis. Okay, one of the differential diagnoses, you can give it as infected radicular cyst, wherein the borders, the sclerotic border will not be there. Okay, and with regards to 8, it is disto-angular impaction and dilaceration. Any doubts in this case, students? Can anyone tell me what is the fault? There are 2 faults in this radiograph. What are they? 3 faults. What are they?
Cone cut.
Very good. Cone cut.
Fingerprint.
Wonderful. Fingerprint contamination. Then
Filosa.
no fogging is not there.
overlap of the
No, okay, no need. Okay, overlap this between first molar and premolar in when you take a second premolar, not relevant. Okay, anything else? What is
The image.
no, not blurred. It's clear. What is this one? This.
Emulsion peel.
Yeah, emulsion peel. Very good. So you conclude by saying that these are the false. Okay. Can you go to the next? This is the next one. The question asked was, what is your the differential diagnosis? Yes, students? Okay. This differential diagnosis for this tooth, what is it? Any idea? Come.
Chronic apical periodontitis.
No. There is a periapical radiolucency for both the roots, mesial and distal. In so big, it's going into the furcation also. So what is it? Again, an ill-defined periapical radiolucency with epicenter of the radiolucency contacting the tooth root apex. What is it?
periapical abscess.
Chronic periapical abscess. Okay. Right, can you see how vague the ill-defined radiolucency is? Okay, here you can see the external oblique ridge continuing down as internal oblique ridge very clearly. Okay, this is the canal, superior border, inferior border. What is this part? Inferior border of the... very good. Okay, right? Okay, clear. And you can see about this tooth as it is mesially tilted, mesially tilted, pathological mesial migration caused by missing teeth. Okay, so this is a chronic, without any doubt, you can diagnose this as chronic periapical abscess. Okay, you can give one more differential diagnosis. What you can say? What you can say, students? Anything? You cannot say cystic lesion. Why?
There is no well-defined border.
There is no well-defined border. You cannot say periapical granuloma considering the size. Okay, but you can, no, when you're saying all this, you should know that all these are different from this case. So you're including in the second, third and fourth differential diagnosis. Okay, Gunabalan, enable your video. Okay, so this was the case. Another panoramic radiograph showed oligodontia. You know what is oligodontia?
Some missing teeth.
Missing teeth are there. Yes, missing teeth. Okay, I will. You want to? I will copy and paste even that. Oligodontia. Copy. Okay, comment on this panoramic radiograph, students. Can you all see the case of oligodontia? Yes or no, students?
Yes.
Okay, right? See, you see only one central, one canine, this is a premolar, and the teeth are rotated. So these teeth are rotated. You know, why can you say rotated? Because you see how the morphology of the tooth is. Right? Again, all this. So this is, when a scenario is given like this is a panoramic radiograph of a 25-year-old female patient. What you can say is the obvious case of oligodontia. Okay. What can you comment on this third molar on the left side? 3-8.
Bucco-angular at this top.
Okay. Right. How it is placed and how is the root of the teeth? How is it? Wide pulp chambers, root not formed properly. Yes? So I want you all to refresh your knowledge, what you had learnt in your oral path. Okay, so oligodontia could be associated with lot of syndromes, and there could be associated malformation of the teeth. Okay, I want you all to understand even that. Clear, students? So your take home messages, I want you all to, I will analyze what you had written in your